Now, I recently acquired my first 501st Battlepack, and already I want to buy 2 more. But anyways, I've been looking at it, and I just think there's a few things that could need changing. Whether it's the stud shooters, or just the size accuracy of the ATRT, there's a few changes I think I could make that would improve it a lot, so that's what I'm going to do today. So some time has passed, and I've got the Bark Speeder complete and the ATRT almost complete. Now, the Bark Speeder, I'm going to show it to you in a second, but it's a lot smaller, it's not as tall, it's not as long, and it turned out pretty good. The ATRT, it's good, the feet look a lot better, the legs, but I think the feet need to be just a bit farther apart. We don't have a cannon, and it's very flimsy, like, yeah. I also found a new way to pose the battle droids, which look really good. You have this arm tilted a bit, and then this one down, and it just turns out really good and really accurate. But now I just need to finish the ATRT, and I'll show you a complete look. So, quickly, before we start, here's what it was, and here's what it is. Now, and I've got to say the difference is incredible. I didn't think it's that much different, especially when you just look at it on its own. But then when you look at the instructions and what it once was, it's a very big difference. Now, of course, we have 2 extra battle droids, but that's not important. What is important are the builds. Now, first of all, the Bark Speeder, it was too big, in my opinion. It was too long, and it was too tall when you look at the photos. Now, I tried to keep the design as reminiscent as possible because I really did like a lot of the set. This back part's completely the same. The seat's a bit modified. Handlebars are the same. It still uses these ski pieces or whatever, just because the piece that's used in the official, like, Clone Wars and stuff like that, it looks exactly like this, so I had to do it. But this time it's just on a clip this way, and it's not sticking out with those bulky stud shooters. And overall, it just looks a lot more sleek, a lot smaller, and a lot better while still looking comparatively similar and not really losing anything besides the stud shooters. And a bit of detail down here, but just having it this closer to the ground is better. Now, I will say if I have one of those transparent 2x2 pieces to have it floating like this, that would just be... It's a pretty sturdy model too, and you also have a place to put the blaster here, so that means everyone can have a place to store their blaster. We have the ATRT. Now, the legs in the last one were super tall. Now, on mine, it doesn't seem to balance that well, and I can't tell why. So anyways, this front piece stayed the same the whole build. Now, it was a bit modified so I can get in this blaster build, which is a very simple build. It's one of these pieces, I don't know what it's called, into a lightsaber in black, which has a stud on the end, a small pole, and then a black Technic beam. You stick that on the end, and it just looks a lot better. It's not a stud shooter, and it can still move side to side, so we have that accuracy. Now, this is the part I was having the most trouble with, was compacting this. In the original set, it was like at least 6 or 8 studs long, and it was just super big. So to be able to have the clone trooper here be able to hold a... They were really low in the original set. They were probably where these pieces are, and it just... The clone trooper was sitting, and I always remember them standing in the Clone Wars, so I think this is just a much better inclusion. Now, we also have this grill detailing from the original set, and we have this back antenna piece. It's the one compromise of this set I didn't like. It should be a lot higher, like probably where the back is, like where it starts of the Clone Trooper. But it's fine. You have a place to put binoculars here, like in the original. And you also have a place to put this blaster. Now, it does slightly hinder the hinge mobility, but I've always been a believer of there should be a place to put your stuff in the sets, so that's why I had it. Another compromise I needed to make was, just because I couldn't get the feet any smaller without looking bad, that it needed to have this be 6 wide, and I think how I did it, it looks a lot better than in the set, because, again, look at the instructions, and that part just sticks out so much, and it's not studded. Here, it makes more sense. It looks like maybe this is wiring and stuff. And, well, that's it for me upgrading the 501st Battle Pack. What do you think? Do you like the build? If so, let me know, and maybe I can release instructions in the future. Anyways, Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, bye!